Ian Watkins' death inquest has just been held this morning on Friday, the 24th of October. And I will go over a few details about what's in the press or what's in the articles that I found online talking about the coroner's inquest. So on the headlines of this article, it says Ian Watkins' official cause of death at inquest, everything the coroner said in full. Now, I've done in detail a few videos over the past couple of weeks, or since last week rather, about the disgraced Lost Prophets frontman. And that's putting it kindly. The absolute bake and the horrible piece of you know what. And you know what I really want to say, but you know I've got to keep it professional now on this channel. So, disgraced Lost Prophets frontman Ian Watkins died after being stabbed in the neck while in prison. The brief inquest hearing was told. It has been put on hold until everything has been everything has been put up in front of the courts, and then once they're finished with the hearings and whatever happens to the defendants, then the coroner's report will continue. So the court was told that Watkins, who was born on July the 30th, 1977 in Wales, he was single, I wonder why, and a serving prisoner at the time of his death, Wakefield Coroner's Court heard on Friday morning. Just like I said as well in the videos that I've done, he was pronounced dead at HMP Wakefield on October the 11th by an attendant doctor and was identified by a prison officer to a police officer. So like I've said previously as well, the majority of you will probably have seen them videos. When he was attacked on the morning of October the 11th by individuals and he had his jugular cut, it takes minutes to die from that wound, because once the jugular is cut and the blood is pumping out when your heart is pumping, like I've said, you can't really give CPR, because if you imagine if you're pressing on the chest, when that is squirting out, and them type of cuts, believe you me, they do squirt out, people. It's not just a little bit where it's trickling non-stop, it actually squirts. So there would have been some mess to clean up on the morning, well, on the afternoon after he's been taken away. But when I did read up as well, this was an absolute waste of time, waste of money, and waste of emergency services. He was actually airlifted to hospital after he was pronounced. He was pronounced dead by the doctor when he came onto I believe he was still on the wing. They didn't, obviously, there's no point in rushing him down to healthcare when he's like that. Obviously, the officers that were on duty that day, I spoke about that in depth about the video as well, what will happen to them. If you missed it, go back and have a look. They've grabbed towels, they've put it on his neck, try to stem the flow, which will not happen with a cut to the jugular. He was dead within minutes, like I've said, so they've obviously just left him on the wing. The doctors come up, pronounced him dead on arrival. Then they've got to leave him there for the police and the forensic and everything to come in. But then they've took him away and airlifted him to hospital. That would have cost an absolute fortune for the helicopter to come into the prison and airlift him out, when they've had to put the whole prison on lockdown whilst the helicopter does that, in case of an attempted escape through the helicopter. So Coroner Oliver Longstaff said that it appeared from the documents before him that Watkins had died following a report that he had been stabbed in the neck. A post-mortem examination was carried out and found the cause of death was an incision wound to the neck. Mr. Longstaff noted that 2 other prisoners had been charged with Watkins' murder. So there's now 4 individuals who have been charged with the murder of Lost Prophets frontman, the absolute beast of a man, Watkins. The coroner suspended his investigation into the death and adjourned the hearing pending the completion of the criminal process. He had been a serving prisoner at HMP Wakefield, also known as Monster Mansion. And then obviously, like I've went on to say, he will have to wait until obviously everything's been completed with criminal proceedings, until everything can be completed with the coroner's report. But he will be getting buried or incinerated probably, because I'd imagine they'll be wanting to burn him in case someone tries to go and dig him up, which, well, some deluded fan will probably, if he gets if he got buried, would probably want to go and try and dig him up, do another Ed Gein on him and keep him on the shelf, because he has got a lot of deluded fans, believe you me. He has got any amount of fans that write him, well, used to rather, past tense, he is no more, used to write him letters on a weekly basis. Officers or screws that have been inside the prison that have let loose about what's happening with Watkins have said the amount of fan mail he got was absolutely ridiculous. The amount of female fans that were visiting him was absolutely ridiculous. What sort of lunatic woman would want to go and visit a freak show like that? Because that's exactly what he is. He was serving 29 years for some of the most horrific and graphic things unimaginable. I'll not say imaginable, unimaginable. And also, I've said it previously, if the people who's new to my channel, because I've got thousands of brand new subscribers in the past few weeks alone, and if you have missed those videos, he was serving 29 years for the most serious of offences, and he was wanting to do things with one of his fans' 6-month-old little ones. And what sort of freako fan would do that as well? I believe she received a 17-year sentence, which should have been life with a minimum of 17, because what sort of woman would let anybody do something to her child, let alone a 6-month-old? And that was from a deluded fan, which will, well, she'll be mourning now, sitting in her prison cell, because I do believe she's still in, because at the time of her sentencing, I believe it was 2/3 she had to serve, which is longer than what he's been in prison, I do believe. But like I say, there'll be some weirdos, some freakos at his funeral. But I'm going to be doing a video as well soon about talking about who's next, because I know I keep saying this, believe you me, there will be fear amongst these high-profile bacons up and down the prison system. And a bacon is the nonce, because a lot of people say it as, still in the comments, a lot of people laugh about the accent and say bacon. It's a bacon. Bacon bonce equals rhymes with Cockney rhyme and slang, but it's prison rhyme and slang as well. And the high-profile bacons up and down the country will be in fear of their lives. But I'll keep that for another video, because I'm going to talk a little bit about the high-profile prisoners that have been brutally attacked and nearly murdered inside prison. But that's another video for another time, people. I'll leave that one there for now. Hopefully you are still enjoying the content. And if you are, remember, people, you know the drill by now. Comment, like, and subscribe. Take care. And most importantly, like I always say, stay safe. Keep away from them predators and watch out who's about.